10 things that are 100% free that will give you happiness. So number one is going on a walk, bro. You know, the best part about this is it's completely flexible. You know, you can go on a 10-minute walk, 30-minute walk, hour walk, however long walk you want to go. And honestly, it's not hard to go on a walk. You know, it's pretty nice, it's pretty relaxing, and actually there's a lot of data back behind it that going on walks is very beneficial for your body and your mind. A lot of people are depressed nowadays, and I think it's because, you know, they don't walk as much as they used to. A while back, before we had cars and, you know, modern day transportation, we had to walk everywhere we went, you know, so we definitely lost that in a lot of our lives. Another thing is the beach/pool. When you go to the beach or the pool, bro, you're getting vitamin D, and vitamin D makes you happy. Okay, when you're inside all the time, and you know, we're not meant to be stuck inside all the time. We're meant to go outside and venture around. You know, going to the pool, it's 100% free. You know, going to the beach, 100% free. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I gotta have money to be able to enjoy my time. You don't. You really, really don't have to. Number 3 is reading a book. Okay? And some people may be like, oh, well, you gotta buy a book. That's not free. You can go to a library and read a book. There are audiobooks online, you know, and reading a book is actually very beneficial, and a lot of people have stopped reading books. They don't read books anymore, you know. But books are very good for you. And not only that, dude, there's so much variety with books that you can use, you know. You can read fiction books about a cool story. You can read non-fiction books that help you learn a new skill, you know, or learn something that you can, you know, use in your life that will benefit your life and make you even happier, right? So books are really good. Number 4 is exercise. Well, what about a gym? What about a gym membership? That's not free. You don't have to go to the gym to exercise, right? You know, I used to do calisthenics. You know, I prefer to go to a gym, but, you know, there is ways to work out without a gym. You know what I mean? And calisthenics definitely was one of that, you know. Head up to a playground, you know, and just work out, you know. You could look up all over the place exercises to do at a playground, you know. You can go for a run, you know. You can go do some sprints, you know. The other day I was in a bad mood, you know, and I went outside and I was doing some sprints. You know, and just going through the pain and, you know, realizing, like, I don't gotta do this, you know. I don't have to do exercise or any of these things, you know, and I do it anyways, and it just makes you feel really good about yourself. Number 5, volunteering is a really good one because, you know, just helping other people in general, like just knowing that, you know, I don't need to help anybody out. I can look out only for myself, but helping out other people, you know, when you don't have to, you're not getting paid, it really does feel nice, and it's 100% free. You know, it doesn't cost a single dime to go out and volunteer, you know. Go to a food bank, you know, whatever. I mean, people are always looking for volunteers, you know. I know it doesn't seem like, oh, the most coolest, the most funnest thing ever, but I guarantee you once you're done, you know, you really are going to feel proud of yourself, and you're going to feel like a very good person for doing that. Number 6 is artwork, you know. Some type of artwork, whatever type of artwork you like, you know. Drawing, painting, video editing, photo designing, or photo editing. There's so many different types of artwork out there. Making music. You know, most of these things are free, or there are ways for it to be free. You know what I mean? Like, One of my favorite things to do, I really do enjoy drawing. It really lets my like creative mind just come out. And the thing about art is you can express yourself in it, you know, like you can express your thoughts, you can express your feelings all in a work of art, or you can just do whatever you want. And when you're done making it, you know, you're gonna feel really good about it. You know, you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel happy with the work that you put in. Most of the time it is free, you know, most of the time there are ways for it to be free, you know, like for example, like music. You know, you can make music easily, you know, BandLab, you know, you could just make music on BandLab. Video editing or photo editing, whatever, you know. And not only that, but some of these skills are really, you could actually use and could end up making money off it if you really wanted to take it there. Number 7, meditating, right? Meditating is one thing that I think everybody should do, right? Because this is a very beneficial thing to do. And some people might be thinking, well, what? I don't have time to sit down and go like, for like 5 hours, you know. But you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Something simple is just like relaxing yourself, you know. And I'll sometimes, like when I'm taking a shower, I'll like sit down and just meditate for like 5 minutes, you know, really focus in on just controlling my breath, you know. And this actually helps a lot. This helps even in like stressful situations, you know, just being able to take a step back, take a deep breath, realize everything's okay. And it is 100% free to breathe, okay? Number 8 is getting a good night of sleep. Sleep is very important for a lot of things, you know. And honestly, if you've had a hard day and, you know, you really just want to relax, you know, get some sleep, you know, like hopefully, you know, you'll have some good dreams too that night, you know, and that'll probably make you even happier. You like worked hard all day and, you know, you come home. It's just so nice knowing that I get to go home and go to bed. You know, sometimes going to bed is like one of like the best things of your day, you know, which kind of seems sad, but you know, it is what it is. Number 9 is being with people that you really enjoy being around. When I'm around people that I love being around, dude, it is so nice. You know, just having a conversation with them, you know, laughing, you know, agreeing, whatever. It's just so nice, you know. Now I know like when you're with your friends, you can, or family, you can go spend money on something. But you could kill 2 birds in 1 stone, right? You can go with your friends to the beach. You could go with your friends on a walk. You know, you could read a book, whatever. You know, whatever you want to do, you can do it with your friends or family. You know, it doesn't really matter. Just any person that you want to be around. Family, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you know. Number 10. This is the thing I feel like a lot of people, including myself, really don't do, you know. Or like, we forget to do. Is appreciating things. Appreciating your life, you know, thinking positive. You're not going to feel happy if you're thinking negatively and focus on negative stuff. You got to think positive, okay? You got to think positive. You got to talk positive, you know. And this is the thing that a lot of people mess up on and don't do. Even myself, bro. I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, I'm perfect, I do all these things and you guys don't. No. Sometimes I have my days, you know. Sometimes I have my moments where, you know, I'm very negative. But you got to focus as much as you can on positive stuff. Talk positive to yourself. Or whenever you start thinking negative, like, man, I'm so dumb, I screwed that thing up. So if you're going to talk negative about yourself, you better say a couple positive things about yourself. You know, the ratio of positivity to negativity better be more in the positive section. Okay, positivity and just thinking positive. If you're thinking positive, you're talking positive, you're gonna probably most likely 9 times out of 10 feel positive. You know what I mean? And at least if you're not feeling 100%, you know, so happy, you know, at least you're just thankful, you know, and just talk talk to yourself. Just list things that you're grateful for. Even if you can list one thing that you're grateful for, there's got to be at least one thing you're grateful for, you know? I mean, think about all these things that we have that we take for granted every single day. You know, like right now, I have the ability to walk. You know how many people out there don't? And they just wish they could walk. And they see all these people that are able to walk. And they just wish they could. And people are taking this for granted every single day. You know, they're like, oh, my life isn't as good as this celebrity's life. But, you know, well, at least you can walk. At least you can breathe. At least, you know, your family's healthy. At least you're healthy. You know, at least you have the ability to make your life good, you know? Think about all the people that we've lost, and they don't have the ability anymore to, you know, enjoy life, you know? Every day we wake up on this earth, we have the ability to be grateful for what we have and be positive, or we have the ability to think negatively, okay? There is negativity in the world, yes. But we got to be that 1% positive in the world. You know, we got to be as positive as we can. And it is hard, you know, because sometimes the negative things seem worse. You could have 20 things positive happen in your day, but the one negative thing that pops up, that thing will ruin your day. Why do we let that happen? You know what I mean? It's almost like we choose to suffer. We're choosing to suffer. You know, we blame things on all these other factors, like, oh, traffic, my girlfriend, this, I'm hungry. We blame all these things on all these other factors. But what's the common denominator? Us. Your brain. Your brain is the common denominator in every single situation. You know what I mean? You got to control what you can control. And that is this guy right here is the only person that you can control. Oh, wait, I don't know. Okay, you are the only person that you can control. So stop trying to control all these factors that are out of your hands. Okay? But those were 10 things that you can do 100% for free. And that could make you happy. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys, you know, do some of this stuff on your own. And stay happy, everybody. Peace.